Hello guys, how you all? Hope you're too good today. So now, hello and welcome to my YouTube channel DAMZ'S Literary World. In this video, I'm gonna show you about the most famous and interesting character, the wife of Bath. Wife of Bath. The name gives us a different tone and a different character in the prologue to Canterbury Tales. Yeah, the most admired character of Chaucer in his prologue to Canterbury Tales. On seeing wife of Bath, her real name is mentioned as Alison or Als. She belongs to the place called Flemish Town. The Flemish town is famous for weaving clothes. So, wife of Bath works as a textile business woman. On seeing the life of wife of Bath, she's a married woman. She's really a good housewife, but she has a hearing problem. She's somewhat deaf to hear things correctly and observe the things whatever she hears. She is expert in weaving clothes and she has a very adamant look that conquers every heart of men towards her. But she has exiled many of the men she married. The look of wife of Bath is really adamant look as well as mesmerizing one that everyone gets easily attracted toward her. She is famously known for having a kerchief that weighs about 10 pounds, which is weaved with many of the wax, embroidery and many materials. It is being noted highly more than her. On seeing her dressing, she wears a red color stockings that is more scarlet color, that also it's too tight. Her shoes are soft with sharp points. She rides a horse and has traveled all over the world. Especially, she loves to go for pilgrimage. She has traveled to Jerusalem for 3 times and gone to many places in Rome, especially St. James shrines in Galatia, and also to Bouglin, to Cologne, especially for spiritual and religious travel. She really has a fair face, too bold, but a thing that lacks in her is her gapped tooth. The wife of Bath has married 5 times at her age of 12. The most comical thing is she has married her 5th husband at the funeral of her 4th husband. And right now, the main aim to her pilgrimage is to find her 6th husband. According to wife of Bath, having many husbands or multiple husbands is not a sin. She just gives an example of King Solomon from the book of Bible. She assumes that the major thing God produced women to have the next generation and produce children. So, according to her, if a woman stays virgin to her life, then the next generation would not produce any babies or children, so the world can come to an end. So, according to her policy, a woman can have many husbands, or else a man can have multiple wives. The other specific character of wife of Bath is her adamant character. While making offerings in the church, she is a woman to have to be first to put the offerings. If any other woman came before her to offer the offerings, she would make a great collapse and put fights with the other woman. This incident shows her adamant character out, narrated by Geoffrey Chaucer. Chaucer admires over wife of Bath, her character, her adamant look and everything he astonished on herself. So, Chaucer brings her to be a vital part in Canterbury Tales, and he also states that Women like Wife of Bath is really adorable, and the main thing Wife of Bath possesses is women equality among the men. Now entering to the story narrated by the Wife of Bath in the Canterbury Tales. In the days of King Arthur, the Wife of Bath begins the Isle of Britain was full of fairies and elves. Now those creatures are gone because their spots have been taken by the friars and other mendicants that seem to fill every nook and cranny of the isle. And though the friars rape women just as the incubi did in the days of the fairies, the friars only caused women dishonor. The incubi always got them pregnant. So this even goes to the Arthur's court. However, a young lusty knight comes across a beautiful young maiden one day. Overcome by lust and his sense of his own power, he rapes her. The court is scandalized by the crime and decrees that the knight should be put to death by decapitation. However, Arthur's queen and other ladies of the court intercede on his behalf and ask the king to give him one chance to save his own life. Arthur, wisely obedient to wifely counsel, grants their request. The queen presents the knight with the following challenge. The challenge is, if within 1 year he can discover what women want most in the world and report his findings back to the court, he will keep his life. If he cannot find the answer to the queen's question, or if he is wrong, he will lose his head. On hearing the question of the queen, the knight sets forth in sorrow. He roams throughout the country, posing the question to every woman he meets. Each woman gives another unique answers, so the knight is so confused. Some claim that women love money best, some honor, some jolliness, some look, some sex, some remarriage, some flattery. So every answer of the women varies from one another. Finally, says the wife, some say that women most want to be considered discreet and secretive, although she argues that such an answer is clearly untrue, since no woman can keep a secret. As proof, she retells Ovid's story of Midas. So here, the Wife of Bath brings another story into the story. Midas had 2 ass's ears growing under his hair, which he concealed from everybody except his wife, whom he begged not to disclose his secret. She swore she would not, but the secret burned so much inside her that she ran down to a marsh and whispered her husband's secret to the water. The wife then says that if her listeners would like to hear how the tale ends, they should read Ovid. She returns to her story of the night. When this day of judgment draws near, the knight sorrowfully heads for home. As he rides near a forest, he sees a group of women dancing and decides to approach them to ask his question. But as he approaches, the group vanishes and all he can see is an ugly old woman. The woman asks if she can be helped him, and the knight explains his predicament and promises to reward her if she helped him. He would help him in return. But the woman does not trust him, and in return she asks him that he must pledge himself to return a help to her, and the knight, having no option left, gladly consents. She then guarantees that his life will be saved. The knight and the old woman travel together to the court, where, in front of a large audience, the audience are too aware to hear the answer from the knight. Now, in the court, the queen asks her from the knight. In order, the old woman answers to the queen that She says that what women most desire is to be in charge of their husbands and lovers. The women agree resoundingly that this is the answer, and the queen sparks the life of the knight from his death. Now, the old woman comes forth and publicly asks the knight to marry her. The knight cries out in horror. He begs her to take his material possession rather than his body, but she refuses to yield, and in the end he is forced to marry the old woman, which he haven't ever dreamt of. The two are married in a small private wedding and go together to the bed at the same night. Throughout the entire marriage, the knight remains miserable. While in bed, the old woman asks the knight why he is so sad. He replies that he couldn't hardly bear the shame of having such an ugly woman as his wife. She does not take offense at an insult, but calmly asks him whether real gentleness or noble character can be hereditary. There have been some sons of noble fathers, she argues, who were shameful and villainous. Though they share the same blood, her family may be poor, but real poverty lies in covetousness, and real riches lie in having little and wanting nothing. She offers the knight a choice: either he can have her to be ugly but loyal and good, or he can have her young and fair but also coquettish and unfaithful. The knight ponders in silence. Finally, he replies that he would rather trust her judgment, and he asks her to choose whatever she thinks best, because the knight's answer gave the woman what she most desired: the authority to choose for herself. She becomes both beautiful and good. The two have a long, happy life, and the woman becomes obedient to her husband. The wife of Bath concludes with a plea that Jesus Christ sent all women husbands who are young, meek, and fresh in bed, and the grace to outlive their husband. Finally, wife of Bath concludes that needs the desire that her husband should ask and inquire about her suggestions in life. So, here ends the story of Wife of Bath in the Prologue to Canterbury Tales. Thank you so much, guys. Hope I feel this video will be useful for you guys. So thank you so much for listening, and never forget me, damn, stay on with me, my videos, like, share and subscribe. Bye.